guys enjoyed the event. Tune in to the Fightlete Report Show.
All right, thank you everybody for joining us on the most action-packed 2 hours on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Latina Epicina.
Hey.
My name is Motaz Oscar, and shout out to the Fightlete Report.
Hey guys.
Yeah, buddy.
You got Shonie Carter, Mr. International, of course, and we are interviewing Den Thomas on the Fightlete Report. Of course, the Coach American Top Team. Star of Dana White's looking for a fight, and we know that you've acted in short films as well previously. And also, are you still co-hosting with Tyron Woodley, the Morning Wood podcast?
We recorded one a few weeks ago. But he's been in training camp, so we had to chill out for a little bit.
And also, you do stand-up comedy, which I learned about a couple years ago that you do a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
You had a show at Stratosphere.
Yeah, I was doing shows at Stratosphere and working a lot with Adam Hunter. So yeah, he's gotten me some work. So thanks. Shout out to Adam Hunter.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, he's really funny, definitely. So we got Shonie here as well, and so Shonie, I'll let you take the first question. You have a question ready?
Well, Den, I always got something going on. So
yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna start off soft and say, hey, how you holding up during all this?
I'm doing okay, man. It's been a lot of transitions, but I'm used to that. Like, I'm used to things changing and being able to adapt the situation. So, with the whole coronavirus going on, obviously it's changed a bunch of things. I left my job, but I'm working, and I don't know. I'm holding up, man, and I'm enjoying life. I'm just trying to enjoy life even more, regardless of any external stimuli that may be happening in the world. I'm just trying to enjoy my life.
Beautiful, beautiful. Because I tell you, I've always been wondering, in light of all of this situation, how does it adversely affect the training quality of the athletes? Because you don't know if your training partner is going to be there, all of the top dogs, things like that. And there's people here in Chicago, it's strange for me to do online kickboxing, online anything.
Yeah.
I saw Pete Spratt, how they got their gym set up, and it's like, and I don't mean to make any disparaging remarks about him or anything, but it's like cardio kickboxing or Billy Blank style stuff, and it's an impact style. And I was wondering, how do you do grappling? I mean, even though my definition of grappling is throwing from 6 feet away.
I don't know. Honestly, and I gotta be real with you, man. When all the quarantine started, I had a small group of people that I said that we just kind of made a pact with each other and said, listen, we still gonna do this, stay home, but we're gonna get together. And I've been getting in work, man. It's been good quality work with a small group of people. And that's where, and because I can't do the online thing, man. I couldn't really do it, man. I don't, for whatever reason it was. It's weird because I came up on videos, but for whatever reason, I couldn't do the online stuff. So I said, all right, I'm gonna work with the people that I work with, but we're gonna be responsible about it. But we're gonna get good quality work, and the work has never been better.
That's the thing, is I was saying the same thing, is that I'm at this UFC gym Yorktown, and I've had people ask me, because we have a cage in there, but it's still a mall group of people. And they're like, do you still fight? I'm like, if somebody give me a call, I'm taking a trip to go train. And literally, it's like the idea of what coronavirus has done to the male and especially the female athletes. The quality and the depth of the athletes' camp is indicative of the performance output of the athlete. And if you don't have that, your coaches or somebody gets sick. Luckily, we haven't had anybody dying within the MMA community Not at least not that I've heard of from this. And
Right.
I was always wondering because y'all were one. You're still on my bucket list to come down there and train. I don't give a damn. I'm 48. I exfoliate, but Dean, you know damn well I've told people this. I'm never retiring, but whatever.
Well, on that point, Shonie, we did have Jacare Souza who tested positive for COVID-19.
He didn't
And
die.
I don't know, were you down there, Dean? Were you cornering Greg Hardy that weekend?
No, I was
sure
not.
if you were there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was really scary. So talk about it, because I know, will you be in Den Thomas's corner, and will you be in Tyron Woodley's corner next weekend? And
Yeah, I will be.
Fight Night Apex?
Yeah, I'm going with him
So-
to his fight. I'm going with Gillian to her next fight, and then I'm actually going to start working with Greg again, because I didn't work with Greg at all for this camp, so I wasn't comfortable going with him to the fight. I didn't work with him.
So what did you think about Jacare testing positive, and do you have any hesitations or any worries with the precautions that they're taking moving forward?
No, I mean, to me, it's a weird thing because it's like, it's not AIDS and it's not an STD.
Right.
It's not a dirty thing. But for some reason, I'm nervous about taking this test because, I don't want him to be like, oh, no, Dean Thomas got it. And then, because, when I heard Jacare got it, it's like, oh, stay away from this guy. It's such a taboo thing. But it's to me, I feel like it's probably, but it's not like AIDS. It's not like chlamydia.
Right.
It's a disease that you get because somebody breathed on you or something, whatever. Or a virus somebody breathed on you. But I'm not nervous about it, though.
Okay,
I
good.
laugh because people are freaking out. I almost got into a fight yesterday. Well, it would have been an ass whooping for him. The guy was like, because I do this Postmates delivery stuff, and the guy got mad because I said something and my mask came off, and he made a comment, and I'm like, pimpin', it's a long stretch of road, and you on step one, stay with your wife and go home in one piece. But the idea of they've made it such a taboo mindset. It's like, damn, because I don't think things will ever really go back to our former sense of normalcy. And it adversely affects maybe not a strong camp like yours, but I look at these other offshoot camps, because I ain't got to name no names. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To the point where, ironically, I just saw a Floyd Mayweather boxing gym downtown Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how in the hell are they going to pull this off, especially after this? And so these other gyms, even the karate dojos and the new jitsu, I call them new jitsu. And if anybody gets mad with me, they can find me. But I call it new jitsu. And essentially, how are they going to be able to have a sustainability of after the situation? That's what I'm curious about. And the offshoot gyms in your neck of the woods.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for, I'm from Florida, and Florida people are crazy. So
crazy
we
as
do
hell.
want, but it's going to be tough, like you said, because the new normal is going to be wearing a mask and staying away from people and not looking at people in the eye. And, it's all said, it's so crazy because you see people and get away from me. But I don't know. It's just,
they're sheeple. That's what it is. And they fall into this mindset that, and I wonder, the podcast stuff and was Zooming, Skyping or whatever it is. Ordinarily, Sean and I will be in the same room. And I don't mind because me and Sean is cool as Ice Cube sitting in the Arctic. And you as I as well. But the thing is that even when you see TV, all these talk shows, everybody's sitting in their house separate. And I'm wondering what's going to happen to MMA. And Sean informed me just before your call about press box style seating. And that's taking away a lot of seats and a lot of revenue, unless you all buying it at home.
Well, unless they raise them ticket prices up.
And they'll do that. Whoa. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Well,
go ahead.
I think that was is the Apex, Dean. I don't know if you've been to Apex, but it seems like everything is like in sections, right? Like all the seating. It has kind of like a press box style seating to it, arrangement, right?
I've actually never been into Apex.
Okay. Just from what I've seen on the Contender Series and whatnot, it looks like it's like all press box style seating. And like everything they have there, they can manipulate, they can move it. So they can hold like boxing there, boxing and MMA.
And that means the ticket prices are going up because those boxes take away seat spaces. And them seat spaces got to be accounted for. Because no promoter, I don't care if it's Vince McMahon or Dana White or anybody else, Dan Lardy, you want butts in the seat. You want that house full. Yeah. That it is. Because let's go back a sec, if you will, gentlemen. Before John Jones showed up, Dana White was handing out a brand new belt every time a light heavyweight fought. Well, whoever champion was. Every fight, nobody defended that. They got the belt, gave up a belt. A promoter, for the most part, is not worried about that leather and piece of brass that's been polished. They care about the butts in the seat that are sitting there buying beer, popcorn, overpriced hot dogs, and programs that cost way too damn much. And if you ain't got them, and if you have to diminish your amount of seats, you have to compensate from the waterline of principle of profit because your return on investment must be up. And sorry, I got off MMA. But anyway, you can tell what I've been studying.
Well, to bring back, of course, Tyron Woodley is fighting Gilbert Burns. So how excited are you, Dean, to see him fight a guy who's coming off a knockout win over Damian Maia at the UFC Fight Night Apex Saturday? And after being out for quite some time, like what can we expect? What do you feel like Woodley is going to do that going to get everyone raging about it, obviously, from home?
Well, I'm actually very happy that this fight is taking place, and not because it's Gilbert Burns or anybody, but because of the way everything transpired going back to like January, because Tyron had started camp like in December, January. He went to Thailand, and we've been in Atlanta twice. So we've been around training, but the fact that, but I think the fact that there has been such delays and they've been putting them off and so on, it just made him hungry. It made him hungry to prove to everybody what he's capable of. And take nothing away from any of the opponents. Like none of them matter right now because he wants to fight them all. And that's what he said. He wants to fight like 3 more times before the summer is over. Like he really wants to be like back to back to back to back because he's so motivated now. He's so hungry. He wants to get out there and show the world the old Tyron and try to erase that memory of what happened to him against Usman because that seems to come up so often. So we need to erase that memory.
Right. You know what's funny is that when people look at what against Usman, how he performed, and it's like they discredit what Tyron had done previously off of one, Usman had his number that night. And to fight back to back, I think it's going to keep him sharp, make him sharp, even sharper. Because I know for a fact, Dean, unbeknownst to most people from back in the day, outside the UFC, I was fighting locally during the week of. And so it was like a tough sparring match. And it was like I was fighting local guys or underground fights. And it kept the testosterone up. And you actually worked on things that you did in the gym. And you really want to show off. You want to show out because you're going to show up. And that's why I'm glad to hear that he wants to do multiple fights before the end of the summer. I'd say maybe the fall or tiptoeing into winter. But God bless him, barring an injury.
And he said the same thing, Shonie. He was like, because before, like he would, he does a lot, man. I mean, the boy raps. He's an actor. He's, motivated. So he does a lot. So when he's not in camp and doesn't have a fight, he doesn't even train that much. But the fact that he's been training since like December all the way up until now, it's May, it was just like it motivated him. Now he's like, I trained for 5 months for this fight. I'm going to fight. I want to fight 3 more times. So like you said, like just getting them reps in over and over and staying engulfed in the mindset of MMA has just been really beneficial for him.
Right. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Sean and I were speaking earlier, and I was telling him about said the countless number of reps that any MMA athlete, especially the guys at that level now, they put in some work. And the idea of what they're doing off camera, most fans, journalists, hell, even if I'm not in camp with you, I have no idea. And I tell people, I'm like, just to get to that one pinnacle moment of putting a leather strap around your waist, it's not the belt, it's everything that you did previous to lead to that one moment. And the idea, if you would take you could sell a training camp training package to anybody because they would say, I want abs, I want a butt, I want thighs, I want biceps and pecs like that. Well, you got to do that shit 2-3 times a day, 7 days a week, and it's going to make you hungry for more. And as long as he's going to want more. And that's imminent. And that's what's great about what he's doing. I mean, do it, ride till the wheels fall off.
Indeed.
Dean, where is Tyron currently trained for this fight? I know he usually trains with Duke up in Milwaukee. However, I heard that recently you went from St. Louis to, I believe, to Coconut Creek to help Gillian Robertson. So is he staying at his home gym for this one?
Well, yeah.
Or is he
So we did the camp mostly in Atlanta.
Okay.
So we were in Atlanta for the most of this camp because, like, you know, with all the coronavirus, it was like traveling was
around,
mess.
yeah.
And Duke was busy with a lot of different fighters. So you know, the fact when I left Top Team, it just like opened up my schedule. So I had been like traveling with Gillian. Like I took Gillian out to St. Louis for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Or for 2 weeks, and we trained at Tyron's gym. So like I got a lot of time in with Tyron in St. Louis, and then we went back to Atlanta. And so Tyron's been putting in his work. So we just been going between Atlanta and St. Louis.
And then also leaving American Top Team, was this like a mutual leaving, or anything you could comment about what made you want to, take off from there? Because you had been there for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of them things where it was like, I felt like I needed to grow up. I just needed to get to just go off and do my own thing. I'm at the point in my life where I want the freedom to do my own thing, and I want to be happy on my own terms. And I wanted to just be able to do my own thing. And that's what I'm going to do. And I think I've earned the right to do that. So, I didn't have any beef with anybody there, and I love them dearly, but sure. I just need to go off and do my own thing.
Do your own shit. And that's the basically the crux of it all. Spread your wings and fly the way you want to fly.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about Gillian Robertson, because Shonie is not aware of the Savage. So if you could describe her to Shonie.
I'm sorry.
Obviously, she's taking on Courtney Casey, who is an athlete, right? Courtney Casey coming off a big armbar submission. But do you feel like this is going to be a big victory for Gillian, and she's going to show she's more of a fighter, while Courtney Casey's more of an athlete? Like, you get what I'm saying, the difference between the two?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a great fight for both girls. I mean, I like Courtney Casey. There was a time where I thought, I wanted to work with her, but I like her. I think she's a great fighter. She's very tough. She's a very good competitor. But I think, Gillian's at the point of her life now where, again, me leaving Top Team, it just opened up opportunity for me to spend more time working with her, because she would go into fights and I'd only work with her for like a week or two, and she'd just get the rest just like in the gym sparring. So I spent the last like 2 months like every day with her. So we've been together every day, twice a day, most of the time, putting in work, fixing her the small mistakes that are going to make the big differences. Just coming up with different strategies and game plans, helping her with balance and footwork. So I think she's going to be a terror for many of these girls at 125 now. If she's hungry, I never have to motivate her because she's self-motivated. In fact, I got to turn her down, like, hey, listen, you need to take a day off. I've had to tell her multiple times, you need to take a day off. And then she'll still sneak a training in. So she's
like her.
She's that type of girl. And,
Never met her, but I like her.
Yeah. And I'm meeting, I just got, which is why I was a little bit late to the call. is I just got done working with her, and then I'm working with her again at 3 o'clock with Shorty Torres. I know you're familiar with Shorty. Yeah.
Oh, come on, really? You know he's really.
Yeah.
I did him to pull a pacifier out of his mouth.
That's great. And just you saying that, Dean, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, the quality of the fights have been good so far. Like the pandemic hasn't, like the product hasn't suffered because of the pandemic. The product that the fighters are putting out and the effort the fights are pretty good. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Brother, go ahead, Dean. Go ahead. Whew.
No, I was just gonna say I totally agree. And I think people were mistaken when they thought that not having an audience would affect the fighters. I think it makes the fighters fight better because they're less nervous and they're less likely to be influenced by the crowd and make dumb mistakes to please the crowd. They're fighting a better fight because they're less nervous and they're just focusing on the opponent as opposed to the crowd.
Definitely.
I have to agree with you because honestly, as being in this arena, I tell you is that it's not the critic that counts to point out a strong man stumbled or how the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man or woman whose face is in the arena, who's scarred, sweat, marred with dust and blood, who errs, comes short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasm, the great devotions, and at the point of high achievement, his or her place may never be those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat.
Franklin Roosevelt? Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah. Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt.
I know you got to get going, brother, but last thing was for both you guys. We got Nunes and Spencer on tap, of course, June 6th. So how do you feel about this matchup for Amanda, and how does she come out on top?
Man, honestly, I feel bad saying this because I like Felicia Spencer. I mean, I love what she's done with her career. I love her camp, Mike Lee, and everybody over there at her camp in Orlando. I love them guys, but it's a horrible matchup for her. I mean, I don't even know if she knows what she's getting into. The problem is,
a lot of them do.
Yeah, the problem is she gets hit too easily. You know, like if you look at all her fights, even against Cyborg, Cyborg lit her up. She toughed it out, but Cyborg lit her up. But Amanda hits hard. And if Amanda starts hitting on her like that, she's going to sleep. And so she can't take the punishment that she took in previous fights. So she's got to make sure her defense is a little better if she wants to have even a chance. And her biggest chance is obviously on the ground. The problem with that is that I'm not sure she's even better than Amanda on the ground. Amanda's a better grappler than her, in my opinion. So it's just a bad matchup for her. But she's young in her career. I think I don't think Felicia's going to win this fight, but I think she'll learn from it and then come back later. And when Amanda retires, she'll be the champ. But it's a horrible fight for her.
Definitely. And you guys in the corner, Amanda's corner in her last fight called for the takedown at will, and so we just saw she out-grappled. Can out-grapple anybody as well as knock them out against the enemy. And you guys, her corner just kept calling for that takedown at will, and she gets to definitely show her ground game. Yeah, I mean, Amanda's a complete athlete. I mean, she's a good athlete. She's skilled on the ground. She's skilled on her feet. She hits really hard. She's a problem for everybody. She'd be a problem for most guys.
Hey, Dean, comically serious, people have asked me about that. And I said, there's only a couple women. And I've been in the ring with a few of them. And I said, I've never been in the ring with Amanda or Cyborg or Gabby Garcia. I said, but those three right there, I'm keeping my hands up. I'm fighting them like a dude. And Amanda, when she popped that bubble of Cyborg, and I'm like, oh my God. And people don't realize how hard those gloves are landing from a well-trained, world-class athlete. My God, my hat goes off to Amanda. And I haven't even seen that much of her grappling. And you saying that she's a good grappler, that she makes the boogeyman go, okay, I'm going to bed now. Yeah. So, wow.
Well, yeah, I've seen Amanda stop dudes in the gym I watched her stop a dude in the gym with leg kicks. Like he just quit because she kept kicking him in the legs. And this wasn't just like a random guy off the street. This was a pro fighter. He was a He was a pro. He had probably less than 5 fights, but he was still a pro. He was a
Still.
professional fighter, and he quit.
Right.
And I was like, yeah,
That's a
she's-
dude.
Yeah,
He got
and it's a
testicles.
dude.
That's it.
See, I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna work out with you and your guys, and just take the old man beating. That's my bucket list. That's my bucket list to take.
Please,
a
Shonie.
You just let me know, man. You just give me a call and you let me know.
Okay.
Definitely. Well, I
You gotta film
appreciate
it,
you,
too.
Dan, for the time. I want to thank you again, and I wish, of course, best luck to your fighters. You know, we got
Yes, I
Tyron
do.
Woodley
I wish
fighting
you all
on May 30th, June 6th, Gillian Robertson, and of course, we're looking forward to Greg Hardy coming back because you said you're going to be working with him in the future as well. So we appreciate your time, Dan, for being on the Fight Report, and we hope to see you again soon. And I know the looking for a fight is taking a break, but I hope you guys can come over to Chicago when that does resume.
Yeah, me too. All right, gentlemen. I'll catch up with y'all later.
All right.
Take
And tell
care.
Mandy and
All
Craig
right.
I said all the best.
All right, man. Peace out. Later, yo.
Hey.